Hello, welcome to episode 2.
Here's our blanket, excellent.
Asymmetrical twin. Dropping and sinking.
Notice how
So just notice. Joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Namaste Yoga. I'm here today with my friends Joanne and Carrie, and we're going to do a class today on different breath techniques. But first I want to take an opportunity to thank all of you who have gone into iTunes and left your comments and ratings. Thank you so much. And also to all of you who have emailed me at info@melissawest.com with your comments and feedbacks on the show. So keep those coming. Thanks so much. So for today's practice, what you're going to need is 2 blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you could always roll up a blanket, work with something like that. And in fact, because we are working with a lot of different breath practices, what I'm going to recommend is that you have a blanket on hand as well, because you might get a little chilly lying on your back, especially here in Ontario, Canada. It is quite chilly right now. We've been experiencing, now we're in Celsius here, but we've been experiencing in the minus teens this week, which has been thoroughly unpleasant. So have a blanket close by so you don't get chilled. So we're going to start lying over your blocks or a bolster if you have it, and you're going to set them up so that the tall block is behind your head and the next block is right in front of it like that. And the bottom of the block should be at about the bra line. So I'm going to have the girls go ahead and set themselves up and do that. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, the other great thing about today's show is that Joanne is pregnant, so congratulations. We're so excited for her. It's her second baby. And so the great thing about that is that we'll be able to give lots of notifications for pregnancy. So this will be a pretty good practice for pregnancy for the most part. So I want you to just rest over the bolsters or the blocks to start, feeling the back of the head, resting on the higher block, feeling the upper back and spine supported by the lower block, and allow the body to sink around the block. So let the shoulders be heavy as though they are draping over the block so that the front of the chest can really open up. And as you breathe out, think about lengthening out that exhalation. And as you breathe out, I want you to feel the shoulders drop even more towards the ground each time you breathe out. Now start to feel the breath in and around the heart center, breathing right into the heart center. And particularly with the body supported over the blocks, it will open up the heart really nicely there and allow that area to be more expansive to receive the breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Feel the breath expand towards the back of the body between the shoulder blades as well. So not only feeling the front of the heart center opening, but the back of the heart center. Feeling the breath expand the space between the shoulder blades at the back. And then shifting your awareness to the lungs as they fill and empty with air. So as the lungs fill with air, feeling the rib cage expand upwards, outwards to the side and back towards the ground. So feeling that rib cage expand three-dimensionally. And also as the lungs fill with air, feel them expand internally too. And I love this metaphor of well, it's not really a metaphor because it really happens, but I love this happening of the lungs filling with air and hugging the heart. So see if you can sense that sort of internal expansion of the lungs towards the heart as well. And then allow the breath to gently, organically expand down and towards the belly. So feeling it in around the navel. Feeling the belly round. And as you breathe out, feeling the navel gently draw back toward the spine. Then feeling that breath even more deeply into the torso, right into the pelvis. Feeling the lower belly of the front of the belly, of the front of the pelvis, rounding as you breathe in. Feeling the sacrum gently expand outward as you breathe in and draw towards the center of the body as you breathe out. Maybe even sensing movement in the pelvic floor, gently expanding outwards and down as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, gently drawing up and inside you. So just becoming aware of these very subtle movements of the body in response to the breath. And then let's shift awareness of the breath up into the head, and especially feeling the breath as it comes in through the nostrils and out of the nostrils. And one really nice, gentle and subtle pranayama technique that I learned from Richard Rosen is as you breathe in, feel the breath draw in along the inner edge of the nostrils. And as you breathe out, allow the breath to sweep the outer edges of the nostrils. So drawing the breath in along the inner edges of the nostrils and releasing the breath along the outer edge of the nostrils. And then just to finish our guided relaxation, noticing where you sense breath movement, maybe first or most noticeably. Just noticing where that sensation of breath is settling for you most in the body right now. And then we're going to gently make our way off the blocks by bending the knees and very carefully rolling to the side off the blocks. We're going to start on our backs. So we're going to start with Apanasana, knee to chest pose. So Joanne's fairly early in her pregnancy, although she is in her second trimester, and generally it is recommended that women don't lay flat on their backs, but this has been kind of a precaution sort of made that's gotten a little out of proportion from what I understand, yeah. And we have a nurse here too, so she can probably confirm that. But if there is any concern, or if you do feel sort of weak, you'll feel kind of faint, I believe, if the flow of blood gets cut off by lying on that interior venous cava. Yeah. So always be precautious. You can prop yourself with pillows, or you could do this one lying on your side too. And with Apanasana, we draw the knees straight in, but you could always do it out to the side around the baby. So that would be fine too. So just take proper precautions. So go ahead and lie down on your backs, girls. So with Apanasana, we always start on with the right leg drawing in. So we'll draw the right leg in. And we're going to focus on extending the breath out. So breathe in. I want you to allow that leg to just gently float away from the pelvis, from the belly. And as you breathe out, I want you to draw the leg in. And even when you feel you fully exhaled, we'll draw the leg in a little bit more and see if you can squeeze that last little bit of air out. So it's just inhaling, breathing out. And then breathing out even a little more. And when I was working with this in class, one thing that I noticed is that there was a lot of effort around extending the exhalation out for myself. And so one thing that I was playing around with was trying to extend the exhalation with as little effort as possible, which turns out for me to be quite challenging. So rather than muscling that exhalation, focus on a full lengthened extended exhalation. And then after your next extended exhalation, we'll lower that right leg to the ground and just notice the qualitative difference between the right and the left side of the body. And then we'll draw the left leg in, hugging the left knee into the chest or out to the side if you're pregnant, just whatever is most comfortable for you. So we're breathing in. And breathing out, drawing that leg in. And when you fully exhaled, exhale a little bit more, drawing that knee in a little bit more. Extended exhalation. Excellent. And then the next time after you've fully exhaled, let's bring the knees down, feet flat on the floor. And we're going to do some 3-part breathing now. So one of the things about this practice is that there's not a lot of physical movement in it. In fact, we're just doing very simple physical poses to support the breath practice. Now that being said, don't underestimate the effects of this practice because you're totally changing the energy body. And we've talked about the koshas and the layers of the body as well. So there are 5 layers of the body. There's the physical body, there's the breathing body, there's the emotional body, there's the spiritual body, and there's the true self. And so when you do a practice like pranayama, breath practice, it affects all the layers of the body. So I can pretty much guarantee that tomorrow, even though it might not feel like you've done a vigorous practice, that you'll feel this breath practice in every corner and crevice of the body. So let's start by just bringing awareness to the areas where we will be practicing the 3-part breath. So just starting by placing your hands on your belly and feeling for breath movement on the belly rounding as you breathe in, and belly dropping back as you breathe out. And then we'll shift our hands up to our rib cage. And, depending on your shoulders today, some days I can't do this without my shoulders popping up. So just even crossing the hands over the body so that the hands are encircling the outsides of the opposite ribs is a nice way to work with this one too. So breathing in, feeling the rib cage expand, and breathing out. Feeling the rib cage move down towards the ground and in towards the center of the body. Okay, and then bring your hands down by the side of your body. And we're going to do 3-part breathing here, and we'll do it without movement first, and then we're going to integrate some movement into it as well. So generally 3-part breathing is done with pauses in the breath, holding the breath, but when you're pregnant, you never want to suspend the flow of oxygen to the baby. So when Joanne practices it today she's going to practice the breath continuously. So she'll be able to still do the 3 parts, but she just won't be pausing in between. So let's just take a normal breath in and a normal breath out. And we'll breathe into the belly. Pause. Breathe into the rib cage. Pause. Breathe into the upper chest. Pause and be full of air, and then exhale. Breathe in belly. Pause. Breathe in ribs. Pause. Breathe in upper chest. Pause. And breathe out. Breathe in belly. Pause. Breathe in rib cage. Pause. Breathe in upper chest. Pause and exhale. And one more like that. Breathe in belly. Pause. Breathe in ribs. Pause and breathe in upper chest. Pause and exhale. Okay, so now we're going to take this into a 3-part moving breath. And we're going to start with the hands down by the side of the body. We're going to breathe in 3 parts, just like we just did, as we move up into bridge. So it will be inhale, inhale a little more, fully inhale, and then we'll exhale and come down. So inhale up a little more, and inhale up fully, and exhale. Good. Inhale, lift. Inhale, lifting a little more. Inhale, lifting fully, and exhale. Inhale, lift. Inhale, lift. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower down. Okay, so now we're going to change that up. We're going to breathe in 1 part, and we're going to breathe out in 3 parts. If your knees, now I'm noticing that it's not that Carrie and Joanne are doing this at all, but what I often see with a lot of my students in class is the knees and the legs start to get into labor mode or something, where the legs go wide. So if that happens to you, take one of your blocks or a little ball or a blanket and put it between your knees, and that will help to keep the legs parallel. Okay, so this time we're going to do 1 breath inhale, breathing out in 3 parts. So let's just start by taking a normal breath in and a breath out. And 1 breath in as you lift, and breathing out in 3 parts as you lower. One breath in as you lift, 3 breaths out as you lower. Breathing in, 3 parts out. Breathing in, 3 parts out. And we'll do 1 more like that. And 3 parts out. Great. Okay. So release the block if you're using one, and then you can bring your knees into your chest. Instead of that, if you're pregnant, Happy Baby can be a really nice alternative because it allows a lot of space for the baby in the belly. So you just don't want to squish the baby. Nice. Yeah, good. So Carrie and I, how about we demonstrate just normal, or I can just demonstrate the normal counter pose here. But that does feel really good. It's not, yeah, Happy Baby feels really good. I'm up for that today too, actually. I find it feels great on the sacrum for me, especially if you can really drop the sacrum into the ground. I find for me it's very stabilizing for my sacrum, which likes to be very unstable. Do you have one of those sacrums? Unstable? No, yours is tight probably. Yeah, hip plug, yeah. Okay, good. Let's lower that down. And actually, Carrie and I will keep our knees into our chest. And I'm going to get Joanne just to bring her knees, feet down, knees bent on the ground. We're going to come into a twist. So nice for Joanne just to go into a gentler twist rather than knees right into the chest. Twists are safe for pregnancy, but you do always want to just err on the side of precaution. So let's, so Joanne, from here, let's get you to lower your knees to the left. And Carrie and I will lower our knees to the left as well, but they'll be up higher. And we'll look over the right shoulder. And in the twist today, I want you to focus on extending the exhalation. So as you breathe out, fully lengthen out that breath out. And what you might notice is that you drop into the twist a little bit more as you extend the exhalation. Okay, and then we'll inhale the knees back center. And then Joanne will just do that with the feet on the ground. Nice. And let's do that on the other side as well. So knees will go to the right. And we'll look over the left shoulder here, focusing on lengthening out that exhalation. All right, and then I'm going to have you come back center and come into a comfortable position. So we'll stay lying on our backs for one more breath practice that we're going to do on our backs here. And I'm going to just suggest that Carrie pulls the blanket over her because it's quite cool in here. And you're probably warm enough. Okay, we're going to do a breath called square breath, which is that all the parts of the breath are equal length. And I'm actually going to pull a blanket around me too. This is what you get for subtle practice. Chilled bodies. So keep your bodies warm, especially it's winter here in Canada. So, all right. So what we're going to do is square breath. And square breath, the inhalation, the pause, the exhalation, and the pause, they're all the same length. So we're going to start with slowly with a low number, a short inhalation, short pause, short exhalation, short pause. And then we'll gradually extend that out. And I'll count them for you so you don't have to worry about that. And what Joanne's going to do, because she's pregnant, is not hold her breath. So what she will do is simply make the breath in and the breath out equal length. Okay, sound good? Yeah. Great. So let's just take a breath in to prepare and a breath out. And then we'll breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. Breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. Breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. Breathe in, pause, Breathe out. Pause. Breathe in. Pause. 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 Breathe out. And pause. Good. And then just return to normal breathing, and I want you to notice how the breath feels now. Does it feel smooth? Maybe smoother? Does it feel longer? Does the exhalation let go a little bit more? Does the inhalation come without effort? So just notice how things have shifted and changed for you after using the square breath. I find that's a great breath to kind of restart my computer. I really like that one. All right, so we could lie around all day, or we could come up onto all fours for cat pose. So let's bend the knees, slowly roll to the side, take your time coming up, and we're going to come onto all fours for cat pose. All right. So on all fours, we're going to exhale, round up through the back, and then inhale and extend through the back. And I want you to see if you can allow the breath to envelop the movement. So there's a little cushion of breath on the out breath as you round the spine up towards the ceiling, and then there's a little breath of inhalation left as you open the belly and heart to the ground, lifting the head and tail up towards the ceiling. And then we'll exhale and round, and we're going to stay rounded. And I want you to just breathe into the back of the body a few times and just notice what that feels like. And then let's do the opposite of that as well. So head and tail lifts, and breathing here. Great. And then we'll come back to kneeling. And from the kneeling position, the blocks can be great for this. And I know that kneeling is not going to work for everybody, but this helps a lot. Sitting on a block, this is how I do all my meditation. If I'm sitting for long periods of time, I find I think, what I've been thinking about it is that because the legs are neutral and the hip bones and everything is lined up so nicely as opposed to a cross-legged position, that it's probably a little easier on the body for long periods of time. Also, if knees are a real issue, you can roll up a blanket and put it behind the knees. But if it's just a no-go, you can always sit cross-legged, or you can sit with your legs open wide too. So we're going to do lion's breath. So turn and face the camera, girls. I couldn't have asked for anybody better for this podcast, because when I told them we were doing lion's breath, they both said, "Oh yeah, no problem." Not everybody wants to be filmed doing lion's breath. But we're ready, are we? Okay, so here's how lion's breath goes. You want me to move? Sorry. Over here more? All right, we're going to breathe in. And then you're going to breathe out. You're going to stick your tongue down to your chin. And your eyeballs are going to go up to your third eye. So you're cross-eyed but looking up. And then you're going to roar like a lion as well. So don't worry, you're not on film, just us. This is going to show up on Facebook or something, right? Yeah. Okay. We're ready. Our lion's breath film debut. Here we go. Big breath in. So good. Let's do that. It's so good. Okay. It's great when you need to get things off your chest. If something's bothering you, it's great. It's supposed to be good if you have a sore throat too. Okay. We're going to do a couple more. Big breath in. Good. And one more. Very good. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to do lion's breath in cat pose, which I love to do because the way I like to do it is we breathe out, round up through the back, and then you pause, you breathe in here, and then you breathe out and look up with the lion's breath, okay? So let's breathe in, breathe out, round up through the back, pause here, inhale to prepare, lion's breath. Good. Breathe in here, breathe out, round, pause here, inhale, exhale, lion's breath. This one's not so good because you get hair in your mouth. Okay, one more. We need ponytails for this one. Breathe out, round. Breathe in, prepare. Breathe out, lion's breath. Very good. Yeah. Okay, so clear the hair from your mouth. We're going to do, I thought since we were doing lion, we might as well do tiger. Tiger is a very interesting breath because you make the sound as you inhale through the mouth and then the breath is traveling over the vocal cords. And generally the way it's done is that the same arm and the same leg lift. So I always think of the movie title Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because this reminds me of Crouching Tiger, although I didn't see the movie, so I'm not sure. Was there a crouching tiger in the movie? No. But you get that image, right? So you exhale and you bend and you come down. If I find for balance, it's easier if the hands are wider and the knees are closer together. And then we're going to breathe in through the mouth. Breathe out, squat down. Breathe in through the mouth. So I always imagine it like a tiger kind of warning its prey. Okay, so Joanne is going to do it with opposite an arm and leg because it is quite a balance challenge, which I know you'll just eat it up. That'll be no problem for you. No pressure. Joanne's going to do opposite arm and leg. She could even just do the arms too if she was feeling really unstable, but I'm sure opposite arm and leg is probably going to be good. Okay, so let's try this. Remember the options to keep the hands wider, the knees closer together. We're going to breathe out and crouch down. And then we'll breathe in, the same arm and leg lift. And we'll breathe out and crouch down. Breathe out in. Breathe in. Same arm and leg reach. It's hard, right? Do you ever teach your classes this way, Carrie, with the same arm, same leg? Yeah. I never either until we did this in class. And on the day we learned this, we had a substitute instructor. And I challenged her on every level. I'm like, you sure? Same arm and same leg? And then I said, are you sure? Breathe in. I think she was ready to go get the book for me. Okay, great. Good. Okay, I'm going to get you to come to a comfortable seated position again. So just notice for you whether that is kneeling or cross-legged. So you choose. For me these days, it's kneeling. Our cameraman's going to do cross-legged. We should turn the camera on him. Okay. You will probably want some Kleenex, and that would be really great if we could get some Kleenex because this is a very cleansing breath. So if our cameraman could bring us some Kleenex, that would be very much appreciated. Kapalabhati is an active exhalation and a passive inhalation. And the way that it works is you breathe out and you draw your belly back. Just give us the box. Thank you. Okay, so you guys can clear your nostrils. You breathe out and you draw the belly back. This is getting silly now, so you must stop. People at home are trying to do a serious practice. Okay, we're going to exhale, draw the belly back. We're going to start with some ha's. Let's try that to start, and then we'll clear our noses and we'll do it through the nostrils. So inhale. Exhale with a ha, 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 ha. Good. Okay. So the only thing that's going to change is that we'll close our mouth. We'll start with the ha's, we'll close our mouth, and we'll start doing it through the nose. So I'm going to blow my nose. So if we could turn off my sound for 1 second here, that would probably be really good. Great, thank you. All right, so we'll start with the ha's and we'll gradually move to the nose. And what I found with this breath, when I first began it, I would do it and I would run out of air. And you know what, that's no big deal. If that's what happens to you, then just reload with air and go again. There's sort of a learning curve with this breath, and I always say that fake it till you make it is a really good way to work with Kapalabhati. Okay? It helps to place your hands on your belly because you can connect with that belly drawing back if that's helpful for you too. So let's take a breath in, starting with the ha's. Close the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Okay, I forgot about Joanne. Probably a better breath would be extended exhalation for you. How'd it feel? Yeah, so this is one of those things that if you did it prior to the pregnancy and it was good prior to the pregnancy, it's probably going to be okay through the pregnancy. If you've never done it during the pregnancy, probably not a good idea to start it now. It felt good, eh? Yeah. Okay, you really like the breath. Okay, so as long as it feels good and she's listening to her body, then I would say okay, but generally I don't teach Kapalabhati breath to pregnant people. Extended exhalation would be a better breath, okay? So we're gonna do Kapalabhati again, and this time at the end, Carrie and I are going to hold our breath at the end until we feel like we absolutely need to breathe out so that we gather all that prana up and then release it. It feels really good, but you are not allowed to do that. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Inhale. Kapalabhati. Big inhale. Suspend the breath. All right, so that is Kapalabhati breath. What did you think? You both like that breath? Yeah, good. Yeah, this is sort of one where there's mixed feelings about it in class. I think too, because it just takes a while to get it too. So, all right, let's come up to standing from here, and we're just going to open up the area of the lungs and the intercostal muscles. So, it feels good to stand up after all that sitting and lying down. We're going to inhale, take the arms up and overhead. And then let's breathe out in side bend here. We'll hold the side bend, really opening up the rib cage and the intercostal muscles. And this one is fabulous when you're pregnant, especially the further along you go, because it creates more room through the torso for the baby, which is good, especially if they start to get up into your rib cage, which that never happened to me, but I understand it's quite painful. I think it depends on your height too. If you don't have a lot of height, there's less room for the baby in there. I know it's happening for my sister right now. She's much less tall than me, so. Okay, we'll inhale, center, and breathe out, side bend to the other side. And inhaling back center. Let's exhale, bring the hands down by the side of our bodies. And then we'll interlace the fingers behind the back. Let's roll those shoulders back and down so the chest is broad and wide. And we'll breathe in here, lengthen the tailbone down. Yes, nice. So that is one thing that you got to be watching for like all the time when you're pregnant. And even when you're not, I'm the prime example of it. Okay, we're going to exhale, lift and open the chest. Yeah, you don't have that much of a tendency towards the pelvis tipping forward, do you? Yeah. Me, this would be my happy place. Well, not really. I would have terrible back pain if I did that, but... Okay, and then release that down. Let's just roll those shoulders back and down again. Okay, and then we were going to do some sounding, but we're sort of running out of time here. So what I think we'll do is breath of joy instead, and then we'll come down to seated, and we'll finish up with Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So let's start with, let me show you how breath of joy works. You breathe in, the hands come in the front. We breathe in, the hands come out to the side. We breathe in a little bit more, the hands come overhead, and then you're going to exhale and lower down. So for Joanne, I would just recommend that you take a nice wide base on that room so that there's lots of room for the baby there. And you're over the nausea, you're not getting dizzy. Okay, this one also, some people do get dizzy whether you're pregnant or not in this one. So just be careful, take a break, keep your eyes open, come up slowly, just listen to your body, and don't get dizzy. Take a break if you need to, okay? It might not be the breath for you. That being said, it's a lovely breath, okay? So we're gonna do inhale front, inhale side, inhale overhead, and exhale. And inhale, come up, and exhale. Let's take a couple of breaths here. That one, it was looking like you were bowling. This breath is a great way to get squats in. And so tomorrow, if you're wondering why your legs are hurting, because every time you did that, you were doing a squat. So it's a kind of nice way to trick yourself into doing some squats. Okay, breath of joy, great breath to do first thing in the morning, very energizing. It will definitely lift your spirits. I love that breath. It's a great one. You know what, especially in these winter months now that we're into, and if you could see outside here, we got another gray day where the sun is hiding behind the clouds. So it's a great one just to keep your moods up when you've got all these great days in a row. All right, let's come down to seated. We're going to do a nice seated twist with some extended exhalation. So come to a comfortable cross-legged position. We'll take the opposite arm over to the outside of the opposite knee, taking the other hand behind the back, lengthening the spine up. We're going to breathe in here, and as you breathe out, I want you to draw the navel back towards the spine, and that may help you to come more deeply into the twist. Inhale, back center. And we'll switch sides. And then come on back center. We're going to finish our practice today seated with alternate nostril breathing, Narishadna. This is great to balance the energy centers, the two sides of energy in your body, so the male-female energy, the Inga and Pingala. I'm going to have to look that up. So to balance the two opposite sides of energy in the left and the right sides of the body. So let's start by taking the left hand, thumb, and index finger together. And we won't be mirroring our audience today because I find that very challenging, this pose. So Gyan Mudra here. And then the mudra that I like to use for alternate nostril breathing is first two fingers extended, thumb extended, and the ring finger and baby finger are bent. And then you can rest the first two fingers on the third eye. We're going to close the right nostril with the thumb and breathe in through the left nostril. And then we'll close the left nostril with the ring finger and breathe out through the right nostril. Breathe in right. Close right. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. It's dry in here, isn't it? Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. And then here we're going to take our right hand down, but at home I would like to encourage you to continue with the alternate nostril breathing for longer than that. Maybe stay with it for 3 minutes to start. If you're more experienced with it, you can get it going up to 5 or 10 minutes or longer. So thank you for joining us for this 13th episode of Namaste Yoga, focused on various different breath techniques. It's been a pleasure serving you today. So we'll bring our hands together. Namaste.